Okay, so we are going to learn Potaliya Sutta. I heard thus at one time the Blessed One lived in Ambuttarapa in a hamlet named Apana in the bazaar. Then the Blessed One put on robes in the morning and taking golden robe enter Apana for alms. After returning from the alms round and after the meal was over, the Blessed One entered a forest stretch and sat on the root of a tree to spend the day. The householder, Potaliya too, completely dressed with an umbrella, walking and wandering for exercise, entered the forest stretch and approached the Blessed One. Exchanged friendly greetings and stood on a side. Then the Blessed One addressed the householder. Householder, there are seats, if you wish, sit. When this was said, the householder Potaliya thought the recluse Gautama addressed me as a householder, and was angry and averse, and would not talk. For the second time, the Blessed One said, householder, there are seats, if you wish, sit. When this was said, householder Potaliya thought the recluse Gautama addressed me as a householder, was angry and averse, and would not talk. For the third time, when the Blessed One said, householder, there are seats, if you wish, sit. When this was said, the householder Potaliya thought the recluse Gautama addressed me as a householder, was angry and averse, and said, it is not suitable that the recluse Gautama should address me as a householder. And then Buddha said, by your signs and attributes, you are a householder. Good Gautama, I have come to the end of all my actions and business. Whatever I had as wealth, grains, gold and silver is given to my sons, and I do not advise or blame them. I care only for my food and clothing. Thus I have come to the end of all my actions and business. Then Buddha said, householder, your ending of all actions and business is different from the ending of all actions and business in the Noble One's dispensation. Venerable Sir, it is good if the Blessed One teaches me the ending of all actions and business in the Noble One's dispensation. Then householder, listen carefully. I will preach. Householder, there are 8 ways to end all actions and business in the Noble One's dispensation. What are 8? Householder, for the purpose of not destroying life, destruction done to life should be given up. So when I was reading this one, and I understood, the Buddha is actually saying is not, in the village monk is telling us, don't kill. It is not in that meaning. For some sort of a purpose that we are doing this one. Not because of a monk is telling. Later on you can see the same discourse describe what is that purpose is the going through the Eightfold Path. For that purpose we are actually not destroying life, refrain from killing. And second it says for the purpose of taking what is given, taking the not given should be given up. Again there is a purpose. So now you can see there's the killing and stealing. We have marked in this particular diagram. Remember we learned this one as a vehicle. Now to that vehicle there are 2 more wheels added. One is killing, one is stealing. So if I ask you whether you would kill, then normally you say, I don't kill. But if I ask you whether you would plant some plants, grow vegetables or something, then you said yes. So if you are doing that one, then you need to dig. If you are digging, then those little creatures, worms, they die. For that one you are actually saying, I don't have any, intention of killing them. But although you are saying that one, and you are also saying that there must be 5 things to have this karma. But what are we actually talking over there? What Buddha was telling is that you need those 5 things, you got to know that there is an an animal or something. The person who is going in the samsara, birth to birth, to what extent you got to have the karma? That is, to what significant extent you got to have the karma to have an effect on him. But what we are talking about today is going through the Eightfold Path. For that purpose, we should not be doing the killing. And then the stealing. You see, I thought that I am not stealing. I had this practice of offering Buddha at night time. So this some drink, tea or something, and I make a tea for myself as well. Go and offer the Buddha. And one day when I was doing it, then I offer the Buddha and then I meditate after drinking the tea. The Sampati Mahabrahma was there. Sampati Mahabrahma was saying that you are stealing. Then I sat down on the chair where I am meditating, and then I contemplated whether did I steal anything today. I couldn't find anything. And look back for 2 days and for a week and recall, and I haven't done any stealing. And then I asked him, how did I steal? He said that you have made up this tea, drink it. So I had 2 sips, and then again I was asking the same question. And he said, no, drink completely. So after completely drinking, then he was asking me, did someone give you this tea? Or did you buy it? So I said, I bought it, because you buy tea leaves. Then he said, if you buy something, then it is part of stealing. It is there. I understood at once what he meant. I can explain using a simple example. You see that you are working, let's say you are working for the government. It doesn't matter whether you are working for a company or not, because a company also selling something to a government. So, now if you are working for the government, now how do they get money to pay you? Because of the tax. So, is there anyone here tell the government, yes, Prime Minister, take my money. Yes, King, you take my money and distribute to others. No one. So that means they impose a rule that if you do not pay these taxes, then we will put you in jail. So people are afraid of that one. That's why they are actually giving. So they are taking what is not given. So if you are part of that one, that means you are part of stealing as well. Some people justify this one. They are saying, although that I take money, but I do work for that one. What does that mean? That means some people don't do that job, then they do job halfway through and then they get the money. So you are justifying that one. But if you are actually taking the money, that means that you are part of that stealing process. So at that particular moment I thought, okay, I don't have this precept. So I counted, out of 10 precepts you can count easily. And there are other methods as well. I found I have about 70% of this virtue. And then the massive concentration arose within me. Because I admit the truth. I don't have this virtue. Again, you might be trying to justify, but what we are actually talking about today is we are giving up killing, stealing for the purpose of going through the Eightfold Path. When you are going through the Eightfold Path, what you are achieving is the noble attainment. The noble attainments, they don't have any karma. When you go through this, when you are talking about that to fulfill this killing scenario that I got to have 5 things, that means we are talking about a person who is going in the samsara. So for that person there is this karma. So we should not try to match. It's like 2 rail lines, That one is going to the Nibbana, the other one is going in samsara. So one is with karma, the other one is without karma. So don't try to match the two. We have to give up killing and stealing. And then next on Buddha says, for the purpose of talking the truth, telling lies should be given up. So lying is written over here as number 3. Again, for the purpose of not slandering, slandering should be given up. So the malicious statement about someone, that slander is number 4, is marked over here. And then the 5th one, for the purpose of not coveting and non-greed, coveting and greed should be given up. Now you can see the coveting and greed is marked over here. And then it says, for the purpose of maintaining blameless non-aversion, blameful aversion should be given up. So that is insult with anger. So that is marked over here between feeling and body type of misapprehension. That is insult with anger. For the purpose of maintaining non-anger and non-malice, anger and malice should be given up. So the associate with anger, krodupayasa in Pali, is marked over here, just nearby this hate, number 7. For the sake of non-conceit, conceit should be given up. So conceit has not been marked in the diagram, but we can say we have already marked it. You see, person who is doing killing, because of the killing he has conceit. Now let us say in a village, certain people are afraid that they hear another Thagari person is coming from another village and going to kill them. So the Thug in the village, now he's got this saram and then got the knife, and now he's saying, I am not afraid of anyone. If someone is coming, I will kill them and I will live. So because of killing, he got the conceit. And again, person who is doing stealing, because of the stealing, he has the conceit. I saw on a Sunday afternoon on a road that 3 people are talking to each other. 2 persons took a long breath and then said, tomorrow morning we have to go to work in Colombo. So the 3rd person looked at them and smiled. Then he said, you go and bring those things in. Then I will take them. I will steal, because he is the robber. So he is not taking those, that long breath for that one. He is just, when they find something, he will steal. And again, the lying person, because of the lie, that he got conceit. I saw one couple in Sri Lanka, both are telling lies. They don't have a house, they pretend like that they own a house. They don't have a car, they pretend that they do have a car. They are, very skilled in doing that one. If you separate the husband and wife and ask the same question, then they are actually giving the same answer. So they think that this is the way to live. So lying person has got that. Because of the lie, they have this conceit. And the slandering. Because of the slander also there is this conceit. Let us say, in a temple, sometimes, people are coming that they actually have this slander. So there are sometimes, couples, 2 persons sort of scenario. And one day these people see that these 2 are now not talking to each other. They're separated. The others are saying, it is good. Today we have some peacefulness here because those 2 persons who are slandering, gossiping here and there, they are not doing that one today. They are separated. Another person is saying, I did that one. That person is the one separated the 2 somehow. So because of that one, he got the conceit. And then coveting and greed. Buddha was comparing this one to a dream later on. So you might have heard some, younger fellows are telling, I have heard that, that he is saying, I got a dream, you don't have a dream. So because of dream, that I am going to be engineer, doctor, whatever it is, then he got the conceit. So all these 7 things that we have written down, and because of that one we have conceit. And then Buddha said, these stated in short conduce to the ending of all actions and business in the dispensation of the noble ones. Venerable Sir, may the Blessed One explain out of compassion these 8 things that conduce to the ending of actions and business in the noble one's dispensation. Householder, listen and attend carefully, I will tell. It was said, for the purpose of not destroying living things, destroying life should be given up. Why was it said? Householder, the noble disciple, reflects on account of whatever bonds I was a destroyer of living things. I have fallen to the method of destroying those bonds. If I destroy living things, myself will blame me. When the wise ones know about it, they will blame me. After death, a decrease should be expected. These are the bonds and obstructions for the destruction of living things. Desire, trouble and displeasure may arise to those destroying living things. They are not to those that abstain from destroying life. If it was said for the purpose of not destroying living things, destroying life should be given up, it was said on account of this. So you need to carefully read this one. And Buddha said that noble disciple reflect that whatever bonds I was a destroyer of living things, I have fallen to the method of destroying those bonds. What is the method? This method is the Eightfold Path. So from the Eightfold Path, from the right view, we come to the right thought. From the right thought is thought of renunciation, thought of non-malevolence, thought of non-harm. So I am following through. That is the thought of non-malevolence. That is the non-hate path. It is in the hate path that we do have this killing. Since I am following non-hate path, I will be giving up those. So as you can see, it is because that I am following the Eightfold Path, I want to go in the Eightfold Path, that I am giving up killing, not because the monk is telling us to do that one. Now again it says that if I destroy living things, myself will blame me. And the wise one know about it, they will blame me. For that one I can tell you an example. I was in a rural area in Sri Lanka, and in that place that I was nearby the gate of that house, and there was a little boy in that house, and he also came to the nearby the gate. And then there was a man going on the street, and then mother in that house came running and lifted up that boy and went back. So I was looking at that man and then looking at this, what this mother is doing, and then I asked that mother, why did you do that? And that mother said that he is the butcher. So old days, those mothers in those village areas do not show their children to see this, let them see the butcher. Mother is very wise in that case, isn't it? Remember, when the engineer is constructing a bridge, the little boy thought that I will become an engineer. When he is at the doctor's office, then decided that I will become a doctor. And so now, if you see a butcher, the little boy might think I will become a butcher. So the butcher also, he knows that those village area, mothers won't even let their little children see me. I am a person should not be seen by kids and so on. When the butcher is going in this, to a junction or something, then the other, I have seen in a village area they are actually pointing, and he's the butcher. No one is asking to buy meat or anything, but they are pinpointing and he's the butcher. So you can see the wise men, they blame. Now this is the external thing. Now let us say this person is now at home. What is happening to him? I can tell you this discourse. Later on Buddha is saying that you can recall your past births. So when we discussed this one in Panadura, one lady recalled her past birth, and she found out that her father was a butcher in the past birth, and now she is actually bringing this meat plate to him at night time to eat, to the butcher. When she was actually taking this, father is saying that, daughter, I can't eat these things, give me some porridge. Because when you look at the meat, you know that the killing is now over. This is in the afternoon, night time. He was having a bit of a quiet time. Now as soon as you see this meat, he remember, how those cows and so on, how they were yelling and crying by the time that he was killing them. So therefore he can't enjoy this meat. But when you look at porridge or something, there's vegetables or something, then it's okay, he doesn't get that same feeling. Those people, they blame themselves. So night time, when they are going to sleep, they drink quite a lot of alcohol. Because they feel this, fearful dreams. Sometimes cows are coming to kill him, goats are coming to kill him, things like that one. Because, by the time you are trying to kill the animal also reacting. So they are actually suffering. So the wise one blame, myself will blame. And then he says after death, the decree should be expected. That means you are going to hell. I also went to hell by killing. These are the bonds and obstructions. Now these bonds mean Sangyojana in Pali. So now Buddha is actually describing us about bonds. You see that Sampati Mahabrahma says this, whatever to the right side of the mental volition, they are bonds. Like killing, stealing, lying, slander, so on. It does not mean that the things that are in the left side, coveting and greed, is not a bond. It is also a bond. Why? Because this diagram is not a fixed one. You can shrink it like, that there's this cloth hanging thing. You can actually shrink it. So when you do that one, this coveting and greed go inside the body type of insistence. This is the truth. So therefore it also become part of these bonds. And then desire, trouble and displeasure may arise to those destroying living things. They are not to those that abstain from destroying life. So if someone is killing, stealing and doing that one, they are going to be born hell, animal realm and so on. So they get much trouble. Even let's say that person was lucky enough, although he was killing, managed to come to human world. That person will be born in places where they are putting bombs and they are killing. Now this person is saying that I am trying to be a good person, but the villagers in my village are not good, that they are cutting, chopping and so on the other people. So then you get much trouble over there. If it was said for the purpose of not destroying living things, destroying life should be given up. It was said on account of this. And then Buddha said it was said for the purpose of taking what is given, taking the not given should be given up. Why was it said so? Householder, the noble disciple reflects, on account of certain bonds I took what was not given. I have fallen to the method of destroying those bonds. If I take the not given, myself will blame me. When the wise ones know about it, they will blame me. After death, a decrease should be expected. These are the bonds and obstructions for taking the not given. Desires, troubles and displeasure may arise to those taking the not given. They are not for those that abstain from taking what is not given. If it was said for the purpose of taking the what is given, taking the not given should be given up, it was said on account of this. So, again you can see we have fallen to this particular method, that path, that is the eightfold path. So from the right thought, right view, we come to the right thought, that is thought of renunciation, that is the non-greed path. It is in the greed path that we have stealing. So therefore we should be giving up the stealing. Not because of the monks are telling, it because you want to follow the eightfold path. Well, have you seen robbers? I have seen those robbers, the stealing ones. They, in a village area, I saw the police jeep just brake because, that dog is crossing the road. And there was a man in that house, a robber. And, he, from the backyard, he jumped to the forest over there. That early days in the Buddha's time, that those kings take these robbers and then they are being subject to sort of punishment in front of all the others. So other robbers are looking at and they think, it will be the same for me. If they get caught of me, they will punish me. Even Buddha is saying that when in a crowd, when there are two people are talking, if the robber is there, then he thinks that they are actually talking about me, what I was doing. And a robber can't actually sort of enjoy, the butcher could not enjoy the meat that he has, killed. But he can't, likewise, robber is taking some sort of ornament or something. And then looking at it, this is nice. But he can't enjoy that one because he remembers that this is the happiness I removed from the other person. So the next one is, it was said for the purpose of telling the truth, telling lies should be given up. Why was it said so? Householder, the noble disciple reflects, on account of whatever bonds I was telling lies, I have fallen to the method of destroying those bonds. If I tell lies, myself will blame me. When the wise ones know about it, they will blame me. After death, a decrease should be expected. These are the bonds and obstructions for telling lies. Desires, trouble and displeasure may arise to those telling lies. They are not for those that abstain from telling lies. If it was said, for the purpose of telling the truth, telling lies should be given up, it was said on account of this. So, as you can see, again we are in this eightfold path, then from the right view to the right thought, and we are right thought, then we have this thought of renunciation. So we are going through the non-greed path. It is in the greed path that we do have this lying. So since I am following the eightfold path, I should be giving up lying. And then it says, it was said for the purpose of not slandering. Slandering should be given up. Why was it said so? Householder, the noble disciple reflects, on account of whatever bonds I was slandering, I have fallen to the method of destroying those bonds. If I slander myself, will blame me. When the wise one know about it, they will blame me. After death, a decrease should be expected. These are the bonds and obstructions for slandering. Desire, trouble and displeasure may arise to those slandering. They are not to those that abstain from slandering. If it was said for the purpose of not slandering, it should be given up. It was said on account of this. So again you can see, slander is in the hate path. So we are following from the right view to right thought, and thought of renunciation, thought of non-violence, thought of non-harming. So that is the thought of non-malevolence path, that is the non-hate path. Since I am following the non-hate path, I should be giving up slandering. So the slander marked over here, Next to it, you can see the disparaging. Palaso is there. Remember that it is mental, isn't it? Palaso. That means you are actually your friend has got another friend and you want to separate them. So that is mental, and this is to separate that we are actually verbally doing something. But don't just take this one, consider it as just wording. You don't need to have the wording over here. One good example is that one of the former Buddha's time, there were two monks. They are very friendly, and one of the divine beings, that divine being, a thought occurred to the divine being that I will separate these two. So then when the one monk, let's say he is going to take water or something, the divine being went to the other monk's room and just taking a sort of a form of a woman. So then the other monk is looking at, when I go to fetch water, this person is living with a woman. So then he stopped talking to this monk. Now they are not any more friendly, so they are separators. So after a long time, and it was in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation, that divine being, he passed away, and then he became a monk. And at night time, that people can see that woman is entering this Arahant, that he was an Arahant now, that Arahant's room. They go and find, and there's no one. So that you can see the Kamma. So this person, divine being, at that time, he did not utter a speech. Just separated the two by, performing that, taking woman's form or something. So just don't take in the mere wording. It's just whatever way you separate, it is counted as slandering over here. And then it was said, for the purpose of non-greed and non-coveting, greed and coveting should be given up. Why was it said? Householder, the noble disciple reflects, on account of whatever bonds I was greedy and coveting, I have fallen to the method of destroying those bonds. If I become greedy and covet, myself will blame me. When the wise one know about it, they will blame me. After death, a decrease should be expected. These are the bonds and obstructions for greed and coveting. Desire, trouble and displeasure may arise to those greedy and coveting. They are not for those that abstain from greed and coveting. If it was said, for the purpose of non-greed and non-coveting, greed and coveting should be given up, it was said on account of this. So you can see coveting is in the greed path. So we are coming through the Eightfold Path, right view to right thought of renunciation. So that is the non-greed path. So therefore, we should be giving up the coveting. And then it says, if it was said for the purpose of maintaining blameless non-aversion, blameful aversion should be given up. Why was it said so? Householder, the noble disciple reflects, on account of whatever bonds I was maintaining blameful aversion, I have fallen to the method of destroying those bonds. If I maintain blameful aversion, myself will blame me. When the wise ones know about it, they will blame me. After death, decrease should be expected. These are the bonds and obstructions for blameful aversion. Desire, trouble and displeasure may arise to those maintaining blameful aversion. They are not for those that abstain from blameful aversion. If it was said, for the purpose of maintaining blameless non-aversion, blameful aversion should be given up, it was said on account of this. So when I was describing the previous terms, I was telling whether they are in the greed path, hate path or delusion path. This insult with anger, the blameful aversion, this one is, they are in the greed, hate and delusion. They are in all three paths. So we should be giving up that. It was said, for the purpose of maintaining non-anger and non-malice, anger and malice should be given up. Why was it said so? Householder, the noble disciple reflects, on account of whatever bonds I was maintaining anger and malice, I have fallen to the method of destroying those bonds. If I maintain anger and malice, myself will blame me. When the wise ones know about it, they will blame me. After death, a decrease should be expected. These are the bonds and obstructions for anger and malice. Desires, troubles, and displeasure may arise to those maintaining anger and malice. They are not for those that abstain from anger and malice. If it was said for the purpose of maintaining non-anger and non-malice, anger and malice should be given up, it was said on account of this. So again you can see this anger and malice, the Krodupayasa number 7 here. It is in the hate path. So since I am following the non-hate path, I am coming from right view to right thought. So thought of non-malevolence, that means non-hate path. So I should be giving up things that are in the hate path. And then it says, it was said for the purpose of non-conceit. Conceit should be given up. Why was it said so? Householder, the noble disciple reflects, on account of whatever bonds I was conceited, I have fallen to the method of destroying those bonds. If I be conceited, myself will blame me. When the wise ones know about it, they will blame me. After death, a decrease should be expected. These are the bonds and obstructions for conceit. Desires, trouble, and displeasure may arise to those conceited. They are not for those without conceit. If it was said for the purpose of non-conceit, conceit should be given up. It was said on account of this. You see, in the Patthana Pali, it says, because of the conceit, we get this existence. Because of the conceit, we get ignorance. So if you are getting ignorance, that is avidya, from the conceit, you can see the ignorance is in the consciousness path. So therefore, so you are actually joining with this, let's say bond of ignorance or something here, and then you are coming through this path and they are going to the barb of delusion. So then that one conceit will allow you to spin and become a salla, a dart. So on the other hand, you can see the conceit is in the delusion path. Again it says, because of the conceit, there is this bhava, existence. So the existence is in the second path, contact as nutriment path. So that is this hate path. So you can see the conceit is in the hate path as well. And then Buddha said, householder, these are the 8 things stated in short and explained for the ending of business and actions in the dispensation of the noble ones. Yet with this much only, actions and business will not come to the end in the noble one's dispensation. What is it that Buddha is telling over here? Buddha is talking about the stopping of this vehicle. You know, our problem is our vehicle is always running. Either lying, harsh speech, frivolous talk, slander, or killing, stealing. You know that now there are 6 wheels in the back and it is moving all the time. So Buddha is saying, if you use these 8 things, which we discussed a little while ago, stopping this killing, stealing, lying, slander and so on, then you can stop the vehicle. But it is not stopping completely. You see, in front of a red light, your vehicle, wheels are not rotating, but the engine is still running. So all the bodily actions stop, the verbal actions stop, the mind, mental actions are still continuing. So then the householder, this Potali is asking, Venerable Sir, how does the complete ending of actions and business come in the dispensation of the noble ones? So it would be for my good. If the Blessed One explained complete ending of actions and business in the noble one's dispensation, then Buddha said, listen carefully, householder, I will tell. And then Buddha said, householder, a clever butcher or his apprentices would throw a fleshless, blood-stained bone, devoid of any flesh, to a hungry dog waiting near a slaughterhouse. Householder, would that dog licking that blood-stained fleshless bone get over this hunger? No, Venerable Sir, it wouldn't. What is the reason? That dog licking that blood-stained fleshless bone would gain fatigue and weariness only. In the same manner, the noble disciple reflects. The Blessed One said that sensual desires are comparable to a bone. It brings much unpleasantness and much trouble. The danger here is much. This should be seen with equanimity and right wisdom as it really is, and the various interests should be turned out. A single interest and attachment should be developed with equanimity, in which all worldly material interest fade completely and equanimity should be developed further. So, that this Buddha gave this example for this killing. You know that there is a butcher nearby his slaughterhouse. A dog is there. And so this butcher is taking sort of a bone and remove all the flesh and then throw the bone. So dog is not thinking twice, straight away running and taking this bone, because there is a competition as well, other dogs are there. So it is biting this bone. So what is happening? I mean, the dog's hunger won't be gone, but it get this fatigue nature because of the, and the gums over here started bleeding, and so blood is there on the bone. That's all happening from this, Buddha is comparing this sensual desires to a bone, fleshless bone. And this much trouble, much unpleasantness. That is what we are going to get. So it is our only body. Our body is subject to this weariness like the dog's scenario. This is where we are starting our meditation. So here, now you think you are the person who was killing. The butcher is you. Why we are saying that you are the butcher? Well, it may be that you were planting some, plants before, or vegetables, then you were digging and then you kill those worms and so on. So you are the butcher. Butcher is not a different person. So put your mind over here, I am the butcher, killing. And then put those comparing to a fleshless bone. So put a bone over here as the physical nutriment. And then you spin it with the barb of lust. So when you spin it, barb of lust, where would you be born? After death. You can expect your birth to be hell, animal realm, because you are killing. So now you are thinking, is it befitting for me to, go to hell because of a fleshless bone, nothing in it? Wouldn't it be better for me to give up my desire and attachment for this killing? You consider this one as a former, volitional formations. It is in the past that you were doing that one. In the past you were actually digging and, killing all those things. Today at this moment, you are not. So even, a farmer can do this meditation. When the farmer was actually farming, then he was killing those little insects and little worms and so on. Now if he is meditating over here, is he a farmer? He is not a farmer anymore. He is just meditating and he is giving up this killing, following through the Eightfold Path. What will happen if he die? At this moment, he might go to Nibbana or he might go to Brahma world. Live in this particular moment, present moment. That was in the past. This is the present moment. And Buddha taught us that sort of a technique. Buddha said, on full moon day, you go and observe virtue. Practice virtue. That is what he meant. You go there, now he would see a different thing. We do not know when we are dying. We might die at this particular moment. So if I die, then I'm not going to do the farming anymore. So use that techniques that way. But here Buddha said that they talking about equanimity. The diverse equanimity, the single equanimity, and then giving up all those things, worldly desires. Buddha said this one, in a short way in this paragraph, but the Salayatana Vibhanga Sutta in middle length sayings explain this one in greater detail. And then Buddha is saying that there are three things, that is this household joy. The household joy is that when you bought something, some shares, and the share market has gone up, and so therefore there is a gain and therefore there is a joy. Or maybe your salary went up, you got a good job, and something like that. And there is this renunciation joy. Renunciation joy is that, I can tell you, when I close my eyes, I can see my eyelids, eyeball, and then this forehead, and then the whole face sort of happy. I use this one when I was working in Canberra as well, in the office. If I get 2 minutes interval, I close my eyes, then I can feel the whole happiness over here and the rapturous. Then I can go back to work with a happy mind as well. Time to time you can actually wet your mind with rapture. So if you develop your faculties, you can do that now. There's no magic over here. It's just a matter of developing faculties. So that is the renunciation joy. Then that one is a good one, isn't it? Because I don't have to wait until the stock market goes up. It might go up, go down. So over here you close your eyes, you get this one. And there is this household distress. Household distress is because that stock market collapse, and you lost, your chair is broken, your car you had a puncture or something. So that is household distress. And then there is this renunciation distress as well. The renunciation distress is, here monk or someone is thinking that those venerable ones, arahants, having a good time today, they are enjoying. But when can I go into that stage? In other words, when can I become an arahant? That is a good one, isn't it? Compared to your car had a puncture or something, this is a good one. So normally you would think, if I have distress, then it is bad. But it is not so. Pettakopadesa says, but whatever thing they are, for the attainment of Nibbana, they are skill states. So even the renunciation distress is a skill state. It's not an unskilled, like this household distress. And then there is this household equanimity. Household equanimity is that, yesterday also we look at that you are sitting down on a chair, it's neither comfortable nor uncomfortable. You are just sitting down over there, that sort of thing. The problem with that one is it's not exceeding that chair, because if you are offered good chair, comfortable chair, then you go for that one. And there is this renunciation equanimity, upekka. That is this, first you go into the first jhana concentration with the initial application and sustained application, with the rapture, aloof from sensual pleasures, aloof from unskilled state of the mind, you enter and abide in the first jhana concentration. So there is this rapture. For what is initial application, sustained application, we look at a little while ago as well. That is this thought of renunciation, thought of non-malevolence, thought of non-harm. For the thought of renunciation, you are contemplating about the 32 parts of the body, hair of the body, nails, teeth, skin, so excrement and so on. Then they are disgusting. So you renounce those things. Your mind is not attaching to that one. So you get the rapture. So you are happy with the rapture. But to have this rapture, you have to pay a price. What is the price? Price is that I need to contemplate hair of the body, nails, teeth, 32 parts. So this person doesn't have any other choice, so he remember all of these things by heart. For example, when you say urine, then you can see that all the other things are in the same boat as urine and excrement. The hair is also in the same boat. So then you can see the initial application, sustained application will fade away. I don't have to do it again and again. And then fading away of that initial application, sustained application, then you are going into the second jhana concentration with the rapture, and the pleasure is there. So the problem with the second jhana is that, you can feel this rapture, your body, hair, and then, in the leg parts, and you can actually wet the whole body with the rapture as well. So that is something you feel physically. So if you feel something physically, then you can get attached to that one. So there is this tendency. So having this peril, this person would like the fading away of rapture and to have the pleasure. After the rapture, there is this pleasure. So then fading away of rapture, then he is going to the third jhana concentration, and it has got pleasure. That was the pleasure I was talking about, that I feel my head, forehead, the whole part of the face. And that, so it is pleasurable. But now there is something in it as well. We are saying it is pleasurable. But what is there in the world? The pain, suffering. That is what is there in the world. So Buddha is saying it is suffering, isn't it? So then, now you think that pleasure is just a temporary thing. The actuality is the suffering or pain. So the suffering will come. The pleasure will fade. So then you get this sort of, it's like someone is going to die, if it is going to die, then there is no gain for you, there is no happiness for that person. So therefore, you are coming to this equanimity, upekkha. So here you don't have this, you are actually away from pleasure. Pleasure is no longer. The pain is not there either. How do you get rid of the pain? That is in the first jhana, you got rid of the pain. See, when you are meditating over here, if your chair is, sort of uncomfortable, you feel the physical pain. But if you have the rapture, you have attention to the rapture. Therefore, you get rid of whatever the pain. Your bottom is hurting, but you don't have any attention. And actually, if you look at your body, in a meditation time, you can see it is actually painful everywhere. Although we are not actually, we are tolerating it, that's what we are doing. Like the painkiller is there, isn't it? So, now, this rapture, because of the rapture, we are not having attention, so therefore, we got rid of the pain. And we are going from third jhana to the fourth jhana, the pleasure will subside, so it is no longer there. So then you are in the fourth jhana. You see, fourth jhana is stable. Why? Because if you have a pleasure, if you are actually falling from that one, then you get displeasure. The opposite of displeasure is pleasure. Now, if you have given up pleasure and displeasure both, then you are not going to fall. So it's stable. So that is this renunciation, equanimity. So now Buddha gave us a really good thing. You see, we have three things for the household type. So I'll take into the left hand. So this is household, the joy, household distress, and the householders, the equanimity. And there is this renunciation joy, renunciation distress, and the renunciation equanimity. What Buddha said? Because of this, give up this. In other words, because of the renunciation joy, you give up the household joy. The household joy is because that you got, stock market is up and then you have got some sort of a gain. But over here, you don't have to wait because you close your eyes and you have this happiness over here. And this is no danger. Even if you die, you won't be going to hell or something like that. So this is good. So it's like Buddha gave us a good toy. We were actually sort of playing with other people's toy all the time. And Buddha gave a really good toy. And rather than playing from the other people's toy, you play from your own one. Because stock market is other person's, their toy. How they play, it goes up, down, and so on. So, and then Buddha said, because of the renunciation distress, you get rid of the household distress. The household distress is that, stock market is fallen, your chair is broken or something. And the renunciation distress is, when can I become an arahant? So this is a great one. So therefore give up this household one because of the renunciation. And then there is equanimity for the household. Equanimity that is not exceeding the chair. But the renunciation equanimity is good one, because it exceeds every chair. Comfortable one as well as the uncomfortable, all. So now you can see the renunciation part is gone. Now the household part is gone, the renunciation part is here. Now Buddha now order this one as well. So rather than having this distress, renunciation distress, Buddha said, go to the renunciation joy. Because where you are attaining Nibbana, you are attaining from the pleasure. And you are not attaining from the pain, you are attaining from the pleasure. But the problem is, to arrive at that pleasure, you are contemplating the suffering. So that is the trick. By doing that one, you come to this one. Pleasure, renunciation, pleasure. Impermanent, subject to suffering and so on. Now, Buddha said this is not enough. Get rid of it and then go to the equanimity, because you are not, if you have the pleasure, if you fall from the pleasure, you get displeasure. Now the equanimity, renunciation equanimity, you don't have a pleasure and displeasure. You are not going to fall, it's stable. And Buddha did not stop over there. Now we got to come to one point over here, only the equanimity, renunciation equanimity. This equanimity is 6 kinds, because eye and the form, whatever you see, you have the equanimity, upekka. And the ear and the sound, and then you have equanimity, upekka for that one. It's like you are maintaining 6 houses. It would be better for you to maintain only 1 house. So that is space is infinite. You are going to space is infinite level of concentration. It's just one idea. Space is infinite. So because of that, give up this. Buddha did not stop over there. Then Buddha said, go into the consciousness is infinite, which is better. And then go beyond that one. That is the perception, the 7th jhana level. And then go beyond that one to the 8th jhana level, neither perception nor non-perception. And then Buddha took you to the next level as well, that is the Nirodha Samapatti, cessation of feeling and perception. Having sent you all those places, Buddha said, all of these are constructed. And there is something that is not constructed. Buddha used the word this atammeta. Atammeta means not made of thatness. Nibbana is not constructed. It is not made of, the house you can say we made from these wood pieces and so on. Nibbana, there isn't such a thing. So, because of the Nibbana, get rid of all these toys. One toy to the another, and the dhyana concentration, get rid of all of them. So that is what is meant. In short, Buddha is describing over here. So there are 3 types. One is this equanimity, that is 6 kinds. And then single point equanimity, space is infinite, consciousness is infinite, or plane of nothing. And then you are going beyond that one, and that is the Nibbana, not ending in any of those planes. So you can see from one point, Buddha took you to this Nibbana. How do we know that one? Because there must be some sort of a relationship between the killing and what we described little while ago. So there is such a relationship. What is it? That is the inhaling and exhaling thing. You see, if I am going to kill an animal, then I am taking a long breath. If I am stabbing also, taking a long breath. So if I am refraining from that one, if I am giving up, I don't have to breathe in to kill. So that means you can say it is the cessation of in-breathing, inhaling and exhaling. That is the 4th jhana concentration. From the 4th jhana concentration with that equanimity, you go to the space is infinite or whatever, single point equanimity, and then you are going to the Nibbana. So from one point, Buddha took you. You see, if you are killing, yesterday we learned, if you are killing the chicken, then you are taking the meat as well. So that means stealing. So if you are not killing, you are not stealing either, in that sense. So from one point, Buddha sent you to Nibbana. Over here, you can observe, as soon as that fleshless bone was thrown, the dog did not think, isn't it? Straight away come and take it. We are also like that one. Although we meditate, we go, when you see someone, oh, this person is beautiful. At once it is coming up. But in the meditation part, you are saying is 32 parts, excrement, urine and so on, disgusting. Like a vomit, I don't want. Why is it that different scenario? It is because our engine is, our vehicle is running. Because this killing means that the wheel is spinning, vehicle is moving. You see, when you are actually driving a vehicle, you might see a tree and say, that's really beautiful. Now you stop the vehicle at sea. Now you can see, there's so many dirty things, birds putting their traps over there and they leave, they are split into parts and so on, insect bites and so on. Now you are not saying it is beautiful because we are running all the time and running and looking. Therefore, we are just taking these things as, beauty. In other words, what is happening is, from the misapprehension over here, body type of misapprehension, and the perception of beauty enter the body type of insistence. Just by looking at, just by thinking, because we are running. That is the first step over here. It will occur because of this killing scenario. And the next one is householder, a vulture, a crow, a hawk would snatch a piece of flesh and would fly away with it. Another crow, hawk or vulture, seeing it, would pursue it, follow it, snatch the piece of flesh. Householder, if that vulture, crow or hawk does not give up that piece of flesh, wouldn't he come to death or deathly unpleasantness? He would, Venerable Sir. In the same manner, the noble disciple reflects. The Blessed One said that sensual desires are comparable to a piece of flesh that bring much unpleasantness, trouble and danger. They should be seen with equanimity and right wisdom as it really is, and the various interests should be turned out. So what Buddha is saying, go to the Nibbana, So here this example Buddha gave for the stealing part over here. Why are we saying that one? And let us say a hawk sort of take a flesh and then is going up. Then the other hawks are coming, try to kill this one and take the flesh out of that one. So then you will meet unpleasantness, isn't it? Death. Well, if you take anything apart from the Nibbana, that is where we are ending up anyway. So then let us say you have a hawk in your, in your house, in a cage or something. If you give a piece of flesh to that one, nobody is going to, hit or kill that bird because it is given. Now here we are talking about that bird also took it from somewhere else. So that is stealing. So in this example, this is the second meditation. What you do, you think that you are the person that was stealing. You are the person stealing. So you put a piece of meat over here as the physical nutriment. Then you spin with the barb of lust. So where would you be born? You will be born in hell after death because you are stealing. So now you are thinking, is it befitting for me to go to hell? Wouldn't it be better for me to give up stealing just because of a piece of meat I am doing, isn't it? So would it be better? It would be better for me to give up stealing. So you give up stealing. And again you consider this one as a past action, past volitional formation. That anyone doing a job can do this meditation. But over here, do you have a job? Normally people think Yes, I do have a job. I put leave and I came to this one. Oh, I was given leave or something. But do you know that the office might have written the letter? You are fired. Because we are entering anywhere thinking it is permanent. We are coming to the meditation session thinking I am a doctor, I am an engineer, I am a lawyer and so on. None of them are there with you at the right moment, present moment. You are just a human being. That's all. So, anyone can do this meditation. So, even let's say your boss is here and say, no, you are not fired yet. But even if he is saying that one, how do I know whether I am going to live to do that job? I might die right over here. So, if I give up stealing over here, at this particular present moment, then if I die, then I might either go to Nibbana or maybe I'll be born in Brahma world also. So live the present moment and consider this one as a fast action. It was, day before yesterday or whatever that you went to work. Today, you don't have a job. You are not a farmer, you are not an engineer, not anyone, nobody. So that's how we should be thinking. So here, again, we got to go into that equanimity thing, and so there must be connection to stealing. See, on the Sunday afternoon, a person who is working, normal person, Sunday afternoon you are getting a long breath. Why? You remember, I have to go to work tomorrow, I have to do that operation, I have to present case or whatever it is. So therefore, then there is this long breath is coming up. But if you are not going to do that one, no stealing, no work, that means I am not breathing in to do that one. So with the cessation of inhaling and exhaling, and that is fourth jhana concentration. From the fourth jhana concentration, you go to the space is infinite, single level concentration, and then go to Nibbana. So over here, you get sort of a permanency. There are steps I am describing here. The first step, remember I was telling, the perception of beauty is coming, subha, from the body type of misapprehension to body type of insistence, that is truth. In the stealing part, over here it gives you the permanency, because of the job you can eat. So that will give you permanency. I am going to live scenario. So that is the second meditation. And then the third one, line part. The Buddha is saying, householder, a man with a blazing grass torch, would go against the wind. Householder, if that man does not give up that blazing grass torch, wouldn't he burn his hand or arm or any other limb, small or large? Wouldn't he come to death or deathly unpleasantness? He would, venerable sir. In the same manner, the noble disciple reflects. The Blessed One said that sensual desires are comparable to a blazing grass torch. That brings much unpleasantness, trouble and danger. They should be seen with equanimity and right wisdom as it really is. And the various interests should be turned out. The single interest, that means the space is infinite level, or the Nibbana, should be attained, should be developed further. So here, the third one, Buddha was talking about this line. You see, someone is taking a grass torch. So the wind is coming in front of him. So what will happen? This person will die because of if he is not giving up that one, then this wind will blow. So the fire is here and the limbs will be, burned. So what is this wind? What is the grass torch? So the wind is the Four Noble Truth. Against the Four Noble Truth, we are carrying this grass torch. Because of it, if you are not giving up, you were burnt before because of this torch. You are burning now. If you are not going to give up the torch, you are going to burn in the future as well. So, how to understand this one? You see that in Sri Lanka, there was a war, and by that time, bombs are, firing up here and there. So let us say your son is in Colombo and father is working somewhere, mother is working somewhere, and then you hear there was this bomb went off in Colombo, and then the mother would be calling, the son is in the school, and then calling the teacher and asking, is my son still living? And then father is calling the mother, or mother is calling the father. Then you are burning because of this one. But you see, there are bombs going in Afghanistan. But are you getting burnt out of that one? No, why not? Because you did not regard that one as mine. It is my son. That is why what the problem is. My son, my daughter. Maybe a bomb went in Kandy. Your son or daughter is in Colombo. You are not getting burnt out of that one. Because you did not regard that one as, that is mine. So this is by taking as mine, then we are getting burnt. So we were getting burnt before, right now, and if we are not going to give up the grass torch, we will be burned in the future as well. So it's a good meditation over here in the third one. So put a grass torch over here as the physical nutriment. For what purpose? You can't use the grass torch, isn't it? But the torch is for you to find the food, bone and the flesh. Night time you put the lights on in your car, that is the torch. You are going for the supermarket. So put the torch over here, then you spin with the barb of lust. And where would you be born? Because of lying, you will be burned. You will be born in hell, animal realm. So now you are thinking, is it befitting for me to go to hell because of a grass torch? Wouldn't it be better for me to give up my desire and attachment for lying? So then you are not going to hell. So there is a really good meditation for this part. I need to get out of the lying. How do I lie? If I say this leg is mine, baby is mine, husband is mine, that means that is this lying. But yesterday we did a good meditation for that. Remember this meditation? Here we were talking about determination for wisdom. Here we are saying experiment is outside, that is the element of extension. So the element of extension, internal, external, both the same. So inside the experiment is also element of extension. Element of extension is not mine. So you cleanse your mind from the element of extension, element of cohesion, element of motion, and element of heat. So you got rid of them as not mine. So do I lie then? Because I am not saying this leg is mine. So because I remove all those things, then nothing is left over here. So I am not saying leg is mine, baby is mine, husband is mine. It's no longer there. So now when you come over here, you are either in space is infinite, consciousness is infinite, because you get rid of those four great elements, then you are in the one of those, single point equanimity also already there. Now what you do? You look at this one, determination for truth. Nibbana is the only thing that is lasting. All the other things are subject to falsity. So then you are going to with the exhaust of lust, hate and delusion, he attains complete extinction. So you are going to this Nibbana. So that is a good meditation to do at that particular time. So because it is taking you to complete Nibbana. So that's the part you need to do at that point. And again you can see we were talking about this Four Noble Truth, that is the wind. Against that one we are saying this. So the mango example is a good one, isn't it? You take a rotten mango, earn money, pay the bills, take a rotten mango and then cut down the rotten part, you say, oh, it's pleasurable. What Buddha is saying, what is there in the world, is suffering. So while the Buddha is saying it is suffering and painful, you are saying, no, Buddha, when I cut down the mango and I eat, it is pleasurable for me. So against the first noble truth, isn't it? That is suffering. So here you are actually lying. So again this is the third step. In the third step, that you are saying it is pleasurable. How does that pleasure comes? Remember, you learned some other technique as well on the first day. The killing, you are saying it is this beauty. Remember this part of the meditation, beauty. As soon as you see the cutlet, you are saying it is beauty. And then the permanency is added, cutlet is there. That's why when someone will take the whole plate, go away, you don't have the pleasure. So permanency is added. So we are adding the permanency from our job, isn't it? Stealing. So now you get the pleasure. So they are linked to each other. That is this first term, killing, the beauty, perception of beauty. You add the stealing, that is giving you the second step, that is the permanency. So add the permanency to the perception of beauty, then you get pleasure. So they are linked. So now let us look at the next one. Householder, there is a pit of charcoal to the height of a man, free of smoke and flames. A man who likes pleasantness, wants to live, comes alone, and two strong men take him by his hands and feet and drag him along to the pit of charcoal. Householder wouldn't his body writhe to get away from it. What is the reason, Venerable Sir? He knows, if I fall into this pit of charcoal, I will come to death or deathly unpleasantness. In the same manner, the noble disciple reflects. The Blessed One has said that sensual desires are comparable to a burning pit of charcoal that bring much unpleasantness, trouble and danger. They should be seen with equanimity and right wisdom, as it really is, and the various interests should be turned out. A single interest and attachment should be developed with equanimity, in which all worldly material interests fade completely and equanimity should be developed further. So here the Buddha is giving this example for this slander. Why are we saying it is for the slander? Remember that disparaging? So you are separating your friend's friend, right? So here someone want to live and he want to have the happiness. And then there is a pit of charcoal to the height of this man. And then you cannot see, the fire amber is inside. And then the two persons are dragging him to this pit of charcoal. So who are those two people dragging him? Think about the disparaging part. So you had a friend and a friend has got another friend. So I don't like the second friend. I want to separate him. So because of the difference, because the first friend is not like the second one, his nose is different or something. So, but you could have given up both of them, but you are not doing that one. You want to keep the first friend. Why? Because he may be a sort of a chairman of a corporation or something like that. You get some benefit out of him. So that is your craving. So then one person dragging you to the pit of charcoal is the craving. Remember, we mark craving over here. Feel into the craving. And then you want to separate and then maintain it. That is your volition. So the other hand who is actually holding and taking you, other arm, that is this volition. So both volition and the craving dragging you to a pit of charcoal. That pit of charcoal is actually to your size because you made it. So this is a good example over here for you to meditate. How I saw this one? I saw someone is sort of, bending the back and sort of begging, let me have the pleasure from this particular form. In other words, you earn money pay all the bills and then save $10 or so, you are going to that mango dealer and you are begging the feeling from the mango dealer, please sir, give me this rotten mango. You are not saying rotten, give me the mango so that I can have the happiness. In other words, the pleasure is coming from this feeling to the body type of misapprehension, entering from the left side. And then the volitional formations that you do, that is your work, job, and it is entering to the body type of misapprehension as permanent. So map those two to the line as well as to the stealing. You see, the line is that I am saying it's pleasurable to eat a mango. So pleasure coming to this line part over here. And then the stealing, that your job giving you the permanency. So those volitional formations, they are sanskara, volitional formations, job, whatever thing you do. So they are entering to the body type of misapprehension as permanent. So it's like that people go in this boat, with the two things to pedal it. So it's like that one. These are the two paddles type thing to, row in the boat. And normally when you row a boat, you go straight. And over here, the way you paddle it, you are actually, spinning in the same spot. Like in the pit of charcoal thing, you are actually going down. So that is what, this is important that, Buddha was telling that a person who liked the pleasantness, that's what is coming. And that is what he is ending up. So this one we can contemplate as a present moment. You see 1, 2 and 3. Killing, stealing and lying, that was past. In the past you took these things as mine, baby is mine, leg is mine. Now you don't. And this slander is the present moment. So for the slander part, there's disparaging examples you can use. We always disparage, isn't it? We actually always try to separate. Even if you get a curry or something, when you get, whatever the curry you get in your, first you get a rice packet. And then you are thinking, oh, what is this? The rice packet from the other shop would be better than this one. And then you disparage your curry. Is this the way to make this curry? Dal curry or whatever thing. The other person made nicely. So always we disparage. Now here we are going to give you a good example for this, since you are burning in a pit of charcoal scenario. Let us say someone here going to work, about driving, or maybe going in a train 2 hours and then coming back in the afternoon, maybe 8 o'clock that person is coming home. So that person may be a clever person, and that this clever person, that let's say a lady, and she is thinking, I can't do more than this. I am fed up. It's enough. It's up to this level. In the office I have to work. Go home, I have to tidy up house and so on. I have to cook. I have to, clean the house and doing the homework for children as well. And I'm not going to apply for promotions or something. And unfortunately, her boss is retiring. And then she is saying, I'm not going to apply. This is enough for me. And then 2 or 3 days later, and her friend is coming and then hit her and say, look, do you know who is going to apply for this job? Your enemy. Huh? She can't do this job. She can't even, right now she can't do her job either. How can she is going to do this job? And if she become my boss, then I will have to do my job as well as her job as well. So the other lady is saying, yeah, that's why I am saying, you apply. You are clever, you can do this. Now she changed her mind, because there are two things. One thing is that I can't work under this guy, and it's increasing my work as well. So let us say that is, you need to create a CV for this one, that it may be the last day. Tomorrow deadline, you have to put this thing. You haven't made the CV. So then the night time, maybe 9 o'clock or so, you let the children have all those eating and those things, and then finishing up, then you are going to write the CV. Then, the daughter is coming. Mom, how can I do this homework? Please help me. And the son is coming. Mom, although I ate, I feel still hungry. So now she has to attend to those things, right? So now if she is, now she is burning because if I don't apply, what will happen? That enemy will become the boss. And if I don't help this girl, daughter, then others will blame me. She might fail the exam. Then others will say, you look after your job only. You didn't look at this girl's welfare, and husband will blame me as well. So now she's burning, isn't it? So think it that way, begging the feeling. So that's what you need to focus on over here. So that is the present moment. We all the time, whatever thing you got, you disparage it, palasa, separate it. You are saying, you're never satisfied with your job or whatever thing it is. You are thinking that, my boss's job is the best one. If you get the boss's one, because the boss is actually putting his legs on top of a table, having a cup of coffee and say, you do this and that one. If I get that one, that's the best one. But if you get that one, then you think that boss's job is the best one. So this is never ending. So the present moment. So you know how to do the meditation over there. Think about the beginning, the feeling part. And the next one, householder, a man in his dreams would see delightful monuments, forest, flatlands and ponds. When he wakes, he would not see any of them. In the same manner, the noble disciple reflect. The Blessed One has said that sensual desires are comparable to a dream. It brings much unpleasantness, trouble and danger. This should be seen, equanimity and right wisdom as it really is. And the various interests should be turned out. A single interest and attachment should be developed with equanimity, in which all worldly material interest fade completely, and equanimity should be developed further. So here we were talking about 4 rounds already. That is, this killing was the first round, and the stealing was the second round, where you are taking it as permanent, and this is the third round where we have this line, and this is the 4th round where we have this slander, where this pleasure entering the misapprehension. So here we are talking about the 5th round. That is this coveting and greed. So here a person is sleeping, and then that person sort of see a nice dream, maybe in a sort of a palace or somewhere, on a good bed, and then see this ponds and all those things, waterfalls are there, and then he wakes up and he can't see anything. That he's in that bed, maybe a rusted type bed that he was sleeping in. He's still in that rotten bed. So Buddha was comparing this coveting and greed to a dream. So our whole life is a dream. Think about it. You see, when you were small, when you were not studying, your mom, taking by the ear said, you study. If you study, then you can go like the uncle in that Benz car. You can be someone like him. So then you study. And then when you study, you didn't get the Benz car yet, isn't it? So then you got you learn. When you go to school, what happened? Then there were this bullying and harassment. And then you managed to live, didn't die. And then what happened? Then you are sort of 18 years old, then you have to study and not sleeping much. Then if you pass the exam, that was good. But if you fail, then there was a problem. If you pass the exam, then you have to find a job. So another problem. Let us say you found a job, then there was another problem because you pay all the bills. No fun. Because the money completely gone, after paying all the bills. So another dream shattered. And then you found another good job by learning more and earning more. And then again you got a problem because now you are thinking, I'm safe. You are not safe because now people are coming to kill you and take your money. So robbers are coming. So you put security and you are scared now. And then after that one, you thought my problem is I don't have a wife, I don't have a husband. So you find a one. Those who already found that, they know whether it is right or wrong. Some already have passed away. So then you can see. And then you thought that my problem is that I don't have a baby. So you had an injection or something and then you got a baby. Now that creates another set of problems, isn't it? Because you need to clean up urine, excrement, washing nappies and so on, feeding every 2 hours or so. And then you thought that when the baby is, standing on her feet or his feet, it's fine for me. What was it? Now when that person is 18 years old, you couldn't even sleep. Because that 18-year-old baby didn't come home. And the baby became 40 years old. The baby got another baby as well. Now you are back bended. You are washing, these nappies and so on, and then you are dying. That's all. So where is the happiness? You can see it's just a dream. Just think about your own life. Where was the happiness? So it's just a dream. And that Buddha gave a really good example over here. When you are getting up, waking up, you don't see anything, those, beautiful things, forest and so on. So how do we do the meditation over here? Remember the sensual desire we marked over here? Physical need, to coveting and greed. You extend that line, where are you heading? To the aging. So the sensual desire means your attachment for aging. So if you like aging, what can you expect? The sickness and death. So what is written over here between birth and coveting and greed? That was delight. That means I am happy to be born after death. So that is what it is. And for what we do this? What is in between coveting and greed and feeling? That line is the stinginess regarding the gain. That is what it is. That is the rotten mango. You took rotten mango as a gain, and then you have the sensual desire for that one, and then you are happy to die and be born. So Buddha said, although you were born after death, it would be the same. You see, other than you, all the people around you are, those are the ones that have been born. So you can ask the next person, are you okay? Are you happy? If someone is happy, then he does not have to be here. Because, no one is happy. Everyone's dream shattered. There's no dream. It's just a dream, that's all. So one person was telling me long time ago, he was telling, this birth is not right for me because, I found a job. Job is not good. I constructed a house is not good. Then I got married, wife is not good. And we got a son is not good. Let us hope for the next birth. That's what he is thinking. But even if you, if you die and you be born, when the others are the ones over here already born, you can ask, even if you die and be born again, it would be the same. It's a really nice example. So here you know how to do the meditation using that sensual desire part. and do the meditation over here. This is the future. This is the fifth round. And it would be really good to say further part over here, that how do you get conceit. Remember that this one has conceit as the eighth one. So how do we generate the conceit? We generate the conceit by spinning. First round we spin and then give a value to the form. You see that killing in the sense that, that consider this one like a sort of a separation from one form to another one. You are looking at something and then you are looking at another form. That means whatever thought you had with before, it is gone. So that is with the first round, you are actually giving a value to a form. And then you get the conceit, that you do that one because of the ignorance. And then the second round, you are giving a value to the form because of the conceit itself. That is, I can tell you, I have been eating some sort of a curry when I was small, maybe 10 years or so. And today I am saying that no one has made that curry like the one I used to eat that day. And let's say pumpkin curry or something. And so why? Because people can't make pumpkin or not? No, it is not because my taste buds are gone. Let us say that now today if I am eating pumpkin, then that is the first round and I am giving value to the pumpkin. But then all of a sudden it is coming to my mind, the one that I was eating when I was young, the small, that was the best. So I take my best one. So who is taking this one? Because of the conceit, the value that I have given before. So I give a value to that one and then I get the conceit. And again in the third round, there is this feeling by eating pumpkin. So therefore I am giving a value to the feeling because of the ignorance. And the next round, because of the conceit, I am giving a value to the feeling. So I have done four values. And then the fifth one, because I give a value to the volition. Volition because of the form. And the sixth one, I give a value to a volition, that is because of the feeling. And in the seventh round, I would give a value to a method of acquiring these things, like, do you learn chemistry, physics, mathematics, that is this stinginess regarding the doctrine called Dhammamacharya. So that's how we get the conceit. Why I am actually describing it, it is one thing is actually it is in the text over here by killing, stealing, and with the eighth one is the conceit. And next I am going to use that one in the sixth round over here, insult with anger. So remember 5, that is your future. You are having a dream for the future. 1, 2 and 3, past. 4th one, slander, is the present one. So here Buddha is saying, householder man who had borrowed some earrings and fashionable ornaments would deck himself in them and would go to the bazaar. People seeing him would say, looks like a rich man. When the owners see him, they would take their belonging. Householder, wouldn't that man be better in his own appearance? He would be better, Venerable Sir. In the same manner, the noble disciple reflects. The Blessed One has said that sensual desires are comparable to borrowed things. That brings much unpleasantness, trouble and danger. This should be seen with equanimity and right wisdom, as it really is, and the various interests should be turned out. A single interest and attachment should be developed with equanimity, in which all worldly material interests fade completely and equanimity should be developed further. So here we are talking about the 6th round, that someone borrowed an earring. Sometimes you are also saying, how can I go to the street like a beggar? I got to have a earring. So you put the earring over here. This one is borrowed one. We are put into a correct place here, isn't it? Because you are hearing, what other people are saying about you. So Then you go to the bazaar and then a town or whatever, and then people in the town actually say, oh, that's a rich person. And then the owner of that ornament is there, and then he's pulling it and taking it away from you. Give it to me. So then you become sort of ashamed of this one because that this person took it. So that is the example for this insult with anger. And I will tell you how to meditate on this one little while later. This one has got a greater meaning in it, so I will use a couple of examples. That how is this grandma in Sri Lanka going to the wedding. So what she does, she actually take this very valuable sari and wrap the whole body from that one, and whatever thing left open in the body, in the hand, for example, covering up with those bangles and so on. And then this part over here in the neck, use the big necklace, gold. And then she is going to this wedding, and then mostly ladies, when they are coming, oh grandma, nice sari. That is what they are saying. They are not saying the grandma is nice. It says sari is nice, beautiful sari. And then so then they are touching the sari, and then she is saying, why my son bought it for me. Where is your son? He is in America. So now they are talking about the son. And then he is coming to the necklace over here, and then now when she is touching and then says, well, my daughter bought it. Where is your daughter? She is in UK or maybe Australia. So then they are talking about the daughter. Now you can see the grandma has got a good reputation over there, isn't it? Because if she was wearing this, sort of bad clothes or something, nobody is looking at and going away. But now because of the sari and all those things, and she was uplifted. In other words, what we are saying is that this is the person delighting about the form, and having delighted in the form, uplift the mind with the conceit. I have a sari, I have bangles and all those things, and it is there. So in the weddings, sort of it's crowded places, then the air is not that good. Now I'm actually describing something I have seen in Colombo long time ago. That is a reputed hotel, very good hotel. But the air was not that good, that this person is now going to collapse. And so the other people are saying, loosen up those things, tight things over here to remove those bangles and, necklace and so on. And so this lady is saying, no, I'm okay. But she is going to collapse. So the others are removing these things. What do you see? You see the wrinkled body. That is what she was covering up from these ornaments and so on. You see the younger person going to wedding, how does she is going? She is putting a very thin, she is showing the skin. The grandma was covering this one. So this grandma is not my grandma, but I can tell you my grandfather who lived 100 years. Everybody is going to, dressing up to go to a wedding. But he was with this stick in his hand outside. Then I was asking, aren't you going to get dressed? Then he looked at me and then says, this body is disgusting. I can't give you exact word that he was actually describing. I don't know how to translate it. So he said this body, wrinkled and so on. Then nobody is happy. People are going to a wedding to have the happiness. But no one will be happy to see this body. So he is not going. But the grandma, you can see, she got to go because, the grandchildren and all those other people are coming, so I got to be there. So not only the grandma did this one. I saw when I was in UK, I saw the sort of a maybe 12-year-old boy. After school, he was very upset. And father is asking, why are you upset? And then he is saying, girls are not looking at me. So father gave a good advice. The advice was that, this collar over here, use on the other side, or like that one. And so this boy is going that way with that collar. So that day, girls are looking at him high skirt. Because this is unusual, they look at it, why it is an unusual thing. And then after looking at the face, you can't look back, so you are just saying high skirt and so on, that he was so happy. So what is this boy was doing? Remember my example, that person who is coming to this mother's womb, that person is coming for the food as well as the happiness from that woman. So that person got happiness, that 5 kind of happiness from the mother's milk and so on. For 2 years or so, when it is come to 10 or 12 years, mother is not touching that much. Then, now you are thinking, I came here to earth thinking that there is this happiness. I'll be cuddled, I get this physical happiness. Now, no longer. So now, there's a missing part. To get the missing part, that's why that girl should be looking at me or something that one. Otherwise, I'm not getting that. So, if the young boy has done it, grandma has done it, you are in between the two. So, how do we meditate over here? Insult with anger. Actually, you have done that meditation already. So, here you are putting something as a physical nutriment. That is, maybe an ornament, or maybe a Benz car, maybe some food, whatever thing you like, you can put over here. And then you think in terms of cause and the condition. Remember that part of the meditation we did? This meditation. You put that one, then the cause is perception of beauty. You added the permanency, then you get the perception of pleasure. From the perception of pleasure, you get the perception of self. That mango example. When you eat the mango, pleasure became the self. So that is the cause. And the condition, if it is a Benz car, you are saying that features, sign and features of this Benz car is such and such. If you put a person, then you say, this place is above, this place is below or something. So those are the cause and the conditions. And in the case of mango example, you make a plan. So, if I save $10.50, I can have a better mango. So go to self-theory clinging and you do one of these, that is line half speech scenario, and what happen if you die over here? Adherence's point. You are going to hell or animal realm. So now you are thinking, just because of this ornament or Benz car or whatever thing it is it befitting for me to go over there? And this one is nice, isn't it? Remember we were talking about that killing. Killing is that because of killing you are regarding whatever thing as soon as you see beauty. And then because of your stealing part, then the permanency. So add the permanency to that beauty, then what you get is pleasure. The third one, that is the line one. So while Buddha is saying it is suffering, you are saying, no sir, it is pleasurable. And then pleasure became the self over here, right? So that you can actually compare to the coveting and greed part. Remember in the coveting and greed, the 5th round. In the 5th round, you have given a value to the form. So that is the value you are looking after when you are coming to this insult with anger. Grandma, has given a value. The skin is wrinkled, you put a gold on the top of that one, so that is better. So that is what it is going to do. So this meditation is the one. You have already done that part of the meditation. So that is the 6th one. And then let us go to the next one. householder close to a village or hamlet, there is a stretch of dense forest, and in it there is a tree full of fruits. A man in search of fruits, coming to this tree and not seeing any fallen on the ground, would climb it and eat as much as he liked. He would fill his sling with some of the fruits. Another man with sharp dagger, going in search of fruits, would come to this same tree and not seeing any fruits fallen and not able to climb the tree, would cut down the tree. Householder, if the man who had climbed the tree had not come down quickly, wouldn't he die or come to deathly unpleasantness, breaking one or the other of his limbs? Yes, Venerable Sir, he would. In the same manner, the noble disciple reflects. The Blessed One has said that sensual desires are comparable to a tree full of fruits. It brings much unpleasantness, trouble and danger. They should be seen with equanimity and right wisdom as it really is, and the various interests should be turned out. Single interest and attachment should be developed with equanimity, in which all worldly material interests fade completely and equanimity should be developed further. So, here we are talking about this associate with anger, krodupayasa. So, there is a man who wants to have fruit, and then he would see a tree full of fruit, but nothing is fallen. He knows how to climb, so he climb up the tree and then take this fruit, eat, and then to his sarong, the sling, he put more over there. And then another man is coming, he wants to have the same thing, but he does not know how to climb. So he got an axe, so he is actually cutting the tree while the other man is on the top of the tree. What will happen to that man? He will fall and he will die. So either limbs will be broken. So who are these two persons? To understand that one, you put your right hand to the physical nutriment, left hand to the birth. Put the right leg to the stealing, left leg to the killing. Where is your stomach? Over here, body type of misapprehension. That is the one you are filling up with fruits and so on. What will happen if you keep on eating fruits? You might get diabetic, the sickness. So who is going to kill you? That your sickness. So that is the second man killing you. So how do you going to meditate over here? You are going to, this is the 7th round. Again, this is the future. So you put a fruit over here and a mango or apple or whatever thing as a physical nutriment. Then you spin with barb of lust. Where would you be born? It is possible for you to go to hell still. Remember, when you are actually holding something pleasurable, enticing and pleasurable, if you die, you can go to hell. But let us say, since he has given up killing, stealing, lying, slander, insult with anger, coveting and greed, let us say this person is a good one. So he is fortunate to be born as a human being. So if you are born, then where are we? We were already subject to aging. That is visible here and now. And then what are we going to get in the future? Now you need to remember your grandma, grandfather, what happened to them. So sickness and death. And that is what going to happen to me. You see, I could not live in my previous birth because I died, that's why I am here. So right now, I can't live because I am already subject to aging, so sickness and death. But if I take a fruit again, the next one, it will be the same. So what I do, I throw out the fruit. That means you get out of the physical nutriment. So when you get out of the physical nutriment, you are going to, space is infinite. The form is no more, so you are in the space is infinite or consciousness infinite. Arupa dhyana, formless sphere, attainment. But can you stay there? You can't. At this particular point, it is worth mentioning the definition of the non-hate. It says ajjattarato samahiti vikkepa patisaharanam in Pali. That means we are actually thinking that there is something, the concentration, that sort of thing lasting within us. It is not lasting. You see, the person who is going to the neither perception nor non-perception level, he is living 84,000 great eons. But after that one, passing away from that, he is most of them going to be born in hell, animal realm and plane of departed. So that's the best place to be. But that is what is ending up. So now just think that I want to live. A person want to live. But previously you were killing, you gave up those killing, stealing and so on. Now having done, giving up, then now you are innocent. Now you are thinking, I'm just take some fruit, taking out of a tree and eat. Innocent life, I can't because I am aging, sickness, death. And so if I give up the fruit, and then that means giving up form sphere, going to the formless sphere, like a space is infinite, there also I can't live. So if I want to live, and if I cannot live in any means, what is that means? What I have is associate with anger. I want to live, I cannot live. So that is what associate with anger means. So then what you need to do, put a fruit over here and spin the engine, physical nutriment as the fruit, and then run with the barb of lust, and I will be born in, let's say, manage to be born in human world. I am already subject to aging. What is coming for me is sickness and death. It is in the pipeline. So now you are thinking, now I could not live in the fast birth. That's why I have this form. And this one also the same, aging, sickness, death. If I take another form, then it would be the same. So I'll throw out the form. Then I'll be going to the space is infinite. Single point concentration is there. And then I can't live over there. So what should be the decision? Don't take anything apart from the Nibbana. That is the only thing lasting. So then, otherwise we will have the associate with anger, krodupayasa. So now remember, first day we said killing and therefore hate. Killing leads to hate, hate leads to killing. Now today you gave up killing, stealing, lying, harsh speech, slander, coveting and greed, insult with anger. Now where are you ending up with? Associate with anger. So if you have anger, then that means hate. You are going back to killing. So Buddha was summarizing your whole life in 7 rounds. This is the 7th round, and we have come to the 7th step. Over here we are actually foolishly taking it as delight. That is what is happening over here. What we have is reality is associated with anger. We consider it as delight, Nandi, at this point. So, in between what we do, you can see we are stealing, lying, slander and so on. So, when you come to this understanding that this is my life, then you are with a noble attainment, and you are in either 7th jhana or beyond that one. So that is the meditation part. And round wise, the 7th one can be said that in the 5th round we take this sort of given a value to the volition due to form, that is the fruit over here. And in the 6th round, given a value to the volition due to feeling. And like that, that the little boy gave a value to the feeling with a collar type scenario, and the grandma did. And you think I will live this way with the fruit. And in the 7th round, you are giving a value to the method. That is this feeling to mental volition. The method is, stinginess regarding the doctrine. That is this, we were sort of touching our mouth, not from here straight away. We are putting it back because you want to have a fruit. What we do, to have the fruit. We learn chemistry, physics, mathematics, engineering, medicine and so on. And then you get a job and your money is going to the bank. So you drive with a piece of plastic in your hand to the bank. So take the money and then you drive back again to the mango dealer, because rotten mango dealer is not taking your plastic, he's taking the money. So we were touching, mouth from not straight, from the behind. So the Buddha gave a simple, way of living. If you want the fruit, you learn how to climb the tree. So that is the method, not the chemistry, no physics, to climb the tree. So that is the 7th round. So round wise, that is what it is. Householder, the noble disciple come to this purity of mind through equanimity recollects the manifold previous births, such as 1 birth, 2 birth, and so on. Householder, noble disciple come to this purity of mind through equanimity with the heavenly eye purified above human would see, being disappearing and appearing, and unexalted, exalted states, beautiful and ugly, good and bad states, would see beings according to their actions. Householder, the noble disciple come to this purity through equanimity has released his mind, is released through wisdom, and would abide in that release here and now. So 3 things are mentioned here. One thing is that you will be able to recall your past births when you come to up to that 7-1. So how do you recall your past births? You see, to recall this past births, what you need to do, you can't just, normally what you have is a curiosity, who am I? It doesn't have an answer right now, because when someone asks you, you just mention your name, isn't it? Your father, mother can give you any names. So what you can actually recall is your actions, the jobs, things that you have been doing. If someone asks you, what are you doing? Then you can say, I'm a teacher, I'm an engineer, I do this sort of thing. So what I did was I went to 7th jhana, and then that is the best place to recall past births. And then I recall what I was doing in my past birth, and then I saw a saw and a wood piece and a hand. So this saw is going above the wood piece. So what does that mean? That means you can easily interpret that is a carpenter. And then I recall to my mind what was the meditation I was doing in my past birth. And then I saw, these little stones underneath the grasses. I could see it better than seen from my own eye. So I realized that I have been practicing this perception of light, meditation. You got to have the ability to sort of interpret these things as well. So as soon as I recall that one, then the whole place got illuminated and there was this light. I could see the carpenters, place where we are doing this carpentry work, and then the house and all those things and the people inside the house, and then you are constructing the house on the top of the roof and so on. And so those days I go to work Monday to Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I recall one of my past births in detail, like watching a movie. And so I have done this one for about 15 births or so. And then Sampati Mahabrahma was there. By that time I was in Perth, going for work. And then I asked him, I am sort of fed up by looking at these past births, like watching a movie sort of scenario. What should I be looking at? Then he said, look at the birth, aging, sickness and death. That is what you should be doing. So I started from the 15 births backward. I was born like that one, then I was subject to aging, sickness, and then I died. Do that one for 15 births. Because I see snakes bites, then how I die at that particular time. And then I was drowning in water, and then how I die over there, and elephant's log was coming and sort of hitting me, and how I died. So when you recall to your past birth like this one, then you don't want to be born, because the death is painful. It's not a pleasant thing. You haven't died yet, so unless you recall, you can't sort of see that experience. I can tell you this, my veins over here, when I saw those things in my past births, the sorrow I had because of that one has not occurred to me yet, because you see, my hand is not there yet into that level. On the other hand, even if I see it today, I see it from the normal eye. So then you do not actually see it properly, because you see, the grandma, for example, going in front of a mirror, look at her body, straight away she is leaving that place. She is not spending time over there. And carefully observe what is she doing. She is going to the kitchen or somewhere, either have a toffee or have a cup of tea. So you are trying to forget what you have seen. In the seventh jhana, you don't have this toffee or anything. You are just purely, you see the aging as aging. So that is the beauty of that, having seen these things. So that I tell you what happened after this, looking at past births. My concentration became very strong. Very quickly, you can go to concentration. Why is that one? Because of the conceit is gone. You do not know how much conceit you have. In this particular society, you can see everybody is driving a car or something, and everybody got something. So, but you go in Sri Lanka, a rural area where you can't even see a three-wheel. You get down from a car, and then those brats and little boys and so on, they are actually running towards you. And then you think, oh, I got a really big, I'm a big guy over here in this place. So when there is a equality, you don't see. When there is inequality, you see how much conceit you have, how much arrogance you have. The arrogance, conceit preventing you from going to the high level of concentration. The person who has going to the highest concentration, that is neither perception or non-perception level, he has got the least conceit. The human beings, on the other hand, are in the bottom of that ladder, and they have much conceit. And those animals, they have more conceit than you are. I have sort of observed the mind of a bird with Sampati Mahabrahma, and bird is like, small size. But when it is going to sort of, attack another bird, it is thinking that I am really big, size of your garden or something like that. Those little dogs, 6 inches or so taller, they are, barking at you. At that particular time, it is thinking that I am bigger. The dog is thinking, I am bigger, twice bigger as you are. I am just barking at a small one. That's how it is thinking at that time. So when, someone is, hitting that dog with a leg or something, then it realizes, though I am smaller. So the human beings are in the bottom. So the conceit is gone or reduced, then you can go into higher concentration. And the next one Buddha mention is that you can see how people are, passing away from this place and then going to be born in, good places and bad places. Sort of scenario is called Chutupapata Jnana. Again, Buddha said you can do that one. For you to do that one, then you need to perceive light. This outside there is light compared to this inside over here. So in the lunch time or something, when it is sunny, go there and then you see the sunlight over there, and then you come back, you close your eyes, and then you pursue the light that you have seen. As soon as you close your eyes, what you actually see is the picture you had. It's not the picture I am talking about, the light in that particular place. So you need to be with that light for longer time. That is the meditation about the perception of light. What I was actually doing, I did the Eightfold Path meditation for 25 minutes, then for 5 or 10 minutes, every day I was pursuing this light. So there are techniques to make it, bigger, grow, and like a moon and so on. And then you sort of see faraway objects later on. So then, I saw this faraway object, and then I could see. I thought that I will go and see one of the divine realms. It has got a stupa. So I went there and I managed to go to Akanitta as well. Early days I was actually thinking that it's only that I see from the light, but later on I realized it's not only seeing, that I am also going, because you see and the mind-made body is going with it. So I am landing over there. I can feel that one as well. So you see, a old man, although he has got strength, if he cannot see, then he is frightened to put his leg forward. But if he can see, he is going. Likewise, you see that on the mind-made body, you see that it is safe as well. So then the mind-made body is going with it. Then how can you sort of look at where this person will be born? Then to do that one, you need the 6th jhana attainment. That means consciousness is infinite. At once you should be able to go into that one. So let's say, having pursued this light, you go into this concentration. So you want to find out where this particular person would be born, and then you go into the 6th jhana. You shouldn't have craving to know where that person is going to be born, just because someone may be asking. So then you attain the 6th jhana at once. From the 6th jhana concentration, you can see this person is going to be born in this particular place, this second person is going to be in this particular place, and then third person is going to be born in this place, and so on. So this third person's place can be changed. That also known at that particular time. And then the next one is, Buddha is telling about that come to purity through equanimity, release his mind. That is this liberations we are talking about. Tomorrow we are going to look at those liberations. So when you have the liberated mind, remember I was telling on the first day that you can stop your mind. That is, it's like a bicycle wheel. When it is going to the right side, just about to stop, it is going to the right, coming to the left, stopping in the middle. Likewise, with the higher concentration, with the liberation, you can stop the mind. So normally, when you look at an apple tree or something, then there is a story, and essay is coming up with it, in apple a day, keep the doctor away, something like that one. But here you see apple tree, it's not running. It's just, we have a knowledge instance, it's apple tree, that's all. Nothing more. Because the story actually telling you that how it is, the apple tree is helping you to have your existence. But that story part is no longer there. So in other words, the engine is completely stopped. This killing, stealing, those wheels are stopped. Verbal ones are stopped. And then the engine is completely stopped. So then Buddha is saying that householder, this is the ending of all actions and business in the dispensation of noble ones. Householder, do you see this ending of all actions and business in the dispensation of noble ones evident in you? What am I, sir? Venerable sir, I am far away from ending of all actions and business in the dispensation of the noble ones. So here that he was actually saying, and it is really good, that Buddha has been lighting a lamp for people with the eyesight to see. So something covering uncovered it, and then he may I take refuge in the Blessed One teaching and the community of Bhikkhu. So may I remember as a lay disciple who has taken refuge from today till life last. So that is the sutta, and also I explain how to do the meditation. I will go through it shortly. That is the first one. Remember that example for the killing, that butcher's example, the fleshless bone scenario. So you are thinking you are the butcher, and then you put this physical nutriment place, you put a fleshless bone, and then you spin with the barb of lust, and then where am I going to be born? I am going to be born, birth will be in hell or animal realm. Now I think, is it befitting for me to go to hell or animal realm because of this fleshless bone? So wouldn't it be better for me to give up my desire and attachment to killing? So that is this, you are getting rid of this killing part. And remember, I am not going to take a breath to think about killing. So my in-breathing, inhaling, exhaling will stop. So therefore I can go to the fourth jhana, that is the cessation of inhaling, exhaling. From that one I am going to this equanimity, space is infinite, and then finally the Nibbana. So the second one, and you are considering this one as your past action. It was in the past that I was planting trees and so on, that I was killing. So then now here stealing, second one. Remember that hawk, snatching some piece of flesh and flying, and the others are hitting. So in that case, this is the example for stealing. So you are the one who was doing stealing. You went to work day before yesterday or whatever. Now here you are putting a piece of meat as a physical nutriment. You spin with the barb of lust, and then you will be born because of killing. You will be because of stealing. You will be born in hell or animal realm. And then you are asking, is it befitting for me to go to hell or animal realm for just a piece of meat? Wouldn't it be better for me to give up my desire and attachment to stealing? So that, I am not going to breathe in. Like a Sunday afternoon, I am not going to breathe in that I have to go to work tomorrow. So that is the cessation of inhaling and exhaling. I am not going to think about it. So with that one you get the fourth jhana concentration, and then from the fourth jhana concentration you are going to the one-pointedness concentration and to the Nibbana. That is the second round over here, where you are getting the permanency because of the food and so on. And then for the third one, the line, remember that's grass torch example. So you are carrying a grass torch and the wind is blowing, then you are going to be burned because of that one. So that was happened in the past, and I am holding this grass torch, and I am holding now. If I don't drop it, then I will be meeting the same thing in the future as well. So for that one, you learn a nice meditation. That is the meditation, you did that yesterday. So what I want to do is getting rid of the line part. So that how do I lie? I take this leg as mine, isn't it? So remember, excrement outside is not mine. Excrement inside, that is the element of extension, it is not mine. Inside one and outside one. So you cleanse your mind from the four great elements. So then you are in the skill state over here, and now you are in the space is infinite also. One-pointedness concentration is there. Then you focus to the Nibbana, determination for truth, and then you are giving up these tendencies and going to the with the exhaustion of lust, hate, delusion, he attains complete extinction. So that's the meditation, you do that one. So that is, remember what we are doing. First we put a sort of a grass torch and then spin, and then thinking that I am going to go to hell because of lying, and then you are giving up the way using the yesterday meditation. So I was showing the relationship between killing then to stealing, because here we have when you are talking about killing, then the beauty, perception of beauty is entering over here. Stealing, permanency, you add the permanency to that one, then you get the line part over here. So there is a relationship. And then when you come to the fourth one, slander, remember that example that you are working and that the boss is retiring example. So begging the feeling. So here the pleasurable feeling enter the body type of misapprehension from the left side, and you are going to map that one to the line part, that is pleasure over here. And then your volitional formations are entering body type of misapprehension as permanent because of the stealing. So you are mapping that one to the stealing part over here. So it's like a sort of a boat, you are paddling it, the way you paddle it, you are rowing this one and you are spinning in the same spot. So all the time, think about this disparaging thing. You are separating whatever thing you have, you are not happy, you are separating sort of scenario, so you are burning. So it is the present moment. So the fifth one, coveting and greed. So over here, that is, remember you recall your whole life, starting from the baby type thing to so far, and it's just a dream. So that is your good example. You have a good example from your own. And here what we have is sensual desire, the meditation part, between the physical nutriment and coveting and greed. And then when you extend that one, what you get is aging. So my sensual desire is then for aging. So if I like aging, then certainly I am foolishly, I like sickness and death. So what is over here is delight between birth and coveting and greed. So I would like to be born. For what? I like to be born because of this mango, rotten mango over here. Coveting and greed and the feeling, there is this stinginess regarding the gain. That mango is a gain for me. So you do that meditation. Remember the Buddha's wording. Although you pass away and be born again, it would be the same. So that is the meditation over here. Here you are dreaming for the future. So this is the future one. And then the insult with anger. For that one you have already done that meditation. So over here in the physical nutriment you put an ornament or earring or something or benska. Then you look at the cause and the condition, beauty, and then the pleasure, and then the self. And then you have a plan. So you do one of these things line. If you die over here, when you have adherences, then you are going to hell or animal realm. So thinking about it, you are giving up. And very important and sort of wise thing to do is to map them together. Remember I was telling the killing part giving you the beauty, and then the over stealing part adding the permanency. Remember that part over here? So you get the pleasure, and then the pleasure became the self. And when you say self, then you are giving value to that mango. So now it covers 1, 2, 3 over there, and the fourth one as well as the coveting and greed all together in that meditation. So therefore we gave a value to by putting ornaments to the body and so on. So do that meditation. And then for the seventh one, it's a fruit example, fruit tree. You put a fruit over here, spin with the barb of lust. Let us say you are fortunate enough to be born as a human being. Now you are already subject to aging. Now what you are going to get is sickness and death in the future. You could not live from your former body. That's why you have this one. And then This one is already subject to aging. I can't live with this one. And if I take another fruit again, then you can see it will be the same. So I will throw out the fruit. So when I throw out the fruit, then I am in space is infinite. Get rid of the form. So over there also I can't live. So I have this associate with anger because I can't live innocently. I can't live beyond. So then the final solution for that one is to not to take anything apart from the Nibbana. Don't take even the concentration as mind. So then you are in the 7th jhana or beyond 7th jhana, and your mind is pure. If you do it rightly, then if you have 2 minutes or so, you can recall your past births. So that's the meditation